let's start with Rashod Bateman. I think he's the most interesting guy on waivers this week. Funston and I already had our time to talk about him on this show yesterday. So, Jake, why don't you take this one? What are you thinking about with Rashod Bateman and what is shaping up to be a pretty paltry week on the waiver wire?
Pick him up and trade him. The same thing we would have done before this week is pick him up and trade him and now continue. Now you honestly, if you didn't trade him already and if you didn't pick him up already, you could possibly get even more. The problem it comes down to is, so Sammy Watkins was out, but it really comes down to you're still third best because you have Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. And I love what the Ravens are doing this year and that they are passing more. And we talked about it last week too, is that when you have teams playing cover two trying to limit Marquise Brown, you just open it up for Lamar Jackson to run all over you, which pulls it, and that's what's opening everything up for them. But Marquise Brown is still the number one. I like Bateman, but I still think he's going to be a wide receiver 4 going forward. So that's why I think a lot of people, by name value and the excitement, especially from the fantasy and draft community, put a higher stamp on him than that. And so wide receiver 4, yes, usable. You don't have to trade him if you need him. But if you can get somebody who's going to think, top 25, he's about to be Jalen Waddle, then immediately trade him.
Funston, Baltimore backfield, something you and I talked about last night. Let's circle back to it here. I mean, Latavius Murray does have the injury. We'll see how serious it is over the next, hopefully we get something in the next 24 hours or so. Are you doing anything with the backfield if we get word that Murray's going to miss some time?
I already got a claim in for Devonta Freeman in one league because I'm just so hard up and need a body. This Dallas Cowboys bye is killing that team. So, it's not going to be Tyson Williams. Look, he keeps getting deactivated. I talked about it on the pod yesterday. Whether it's they don't trust him in the RPO and the mesh point issues that were rumored to be something that they were worried about earlier in the year, whatever. They just keep going to the old guys. And Devonta Freeman was the lead guy of those old guys when Latavius Murray was out. So, Williams is going to be activated, but I don't think he's just going to be shoved into a leading role. So I would lean Freeman for sure.
Jake, you feeling the same way about this backfield, or is it just a stay away, even if we get word that Latavius will miss time?
This is the 2020 Buccaneers. Stay the hell away. If you haven't learned your lesson about trying to chase, we're desperate. And 16 buys, I understand it, and I would agree with Funston for that. If Murray is out, that's the big one. If Latavius Murray's out, if Latavius Murray's in there, even a 16 buy, I don't know how desperate I need to be to chase down this backfield, including the Dolphins' backfield. Sure. But you're going to be chasing production, and it's going to be very few weeks where all three of them get the score.
All right, we're also going to be looking for some news over the next 24 hours or so on T.Y. Hilton. Jake, if the news is good, how do you feel about T.Y.? 4 catches for 90 yards in his first game back from the injury.
I saw some of the news right after the game being good. Is that the only reason he wasn't actually hurt? Is that they were just not letting him play the entire game because it was his first game back. And when they highlighted him on the field when he came off, or on the sidelines when he came off, he was just walking around. He's just walking around like normal. So the speculation was that it was just limiting him. So unless we get bad news, T.Y. Hilton should have been picked up. He shouldn't have played him in the first game back. But if you did, hey, it worked out for you. The biggest thing about this is that he was that involved in his first game back. And now we have some concerns for Michael Pittman because T.Y. Hilton came back, and if nothing else, is shown that he's going to at least push for half of the opportunities in Pittman. And if not, he's coming back potentially as the number one. Because they did what they did late last year, too. Granted, it wasn't with Carson Wentz, but they used him differently towards the end of last year instead of just saying, hey, you're T.Y. Hilton, beat everybody deep like Marquise Brown. And they started running him in some different routes. And Hilton kind of bounced back like Larry Fitzgerald did late in his career, differently, but similar fashion, and that they used him differently. So, yes, go get T.Y. Hilton. I would actually prefer T.Y. Hilton to Bateman.
Okay. Funston, what do you think?
I agree. I agree on that. I'm going Hilton over Bateman as well. And I really don't have anything to add to what Jake just said there. But in my mind, I was thinking a little bit. Michael Pittman was about ready to get on a roll. He was already starting to roll, and then kind of T.Y. Hilton just came out and slowed that roll. So a little bit concerning there.
All right, guys, a couple of tight ends I want to ask you about, too, and let's keep this moving fast. We're doing a good job moving through this one with some pace. Zach Ertz going to be joining the Arizona Cardinals, or already has joined the Arizona Cardinals, but should get active next week. We've also got Ricky Seals-Jones coming in with a couple of big games in place of Logan Thomas. Funston, if you can have one of these two tight ends, who are you prioritizing?
Man, I think I'm going to go Ricky Seals-Jones. I don't know where Zach Ertz fits, sort of like Max Williams was starting to fit, but I don't know if it's tight. I really just want to talk about Dallas Goedert right now. That's really what I want to talk about.
Yeah, all right. Talk about him.
Top 6 tight end, Jake. Are you ready? Are you in?
No.
Oh, come on. Mike Gesicki or Dallas Goedert rest of the year?
Oh, Dallas Goedert.
Okay. All right. Just want to see. I'm top 6 is top 7. I'll give him top 7. I just love Dallas Goedert now with no Zach Ertz.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't. God, I'm leaning Ricky Seals-Jones here. It's really close. I don't know if I have a good reason why, other than I keep seeing him. You know, even the game before when he didn't do anything, he was getting red zone looks. Regularly.
He's basically getting Logan Thomas's role.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So
they basically didn't change anything.
I like the upside of that when there's a lot narrower amount of people involved in the passing game. So give me Ricky Seals-Jones.
For all that, and I'll keep it actual quick since you just took 5 hours on that one.
I was vacillating.
It's Ricky Seals-Jones, and it's not close because he is the number 2 in that passing game of all the other mess that's going on there. So it's Ricky Seals-Jones by a mile. The only difference is why Ertz even comes in this conversation is because Ricky Seals-Jones has Logan Thomas returning. So, but I'll chase.
I was trying to remember how long Logan Thomas is supposed to be out.
It's tight end. I'll chase the immediate production for the weeks that Ricky Seals-Jones continues to be the number 2.
And it seems, I mean, they put him on IR. He's already missed 2 games. It sounded like, though, when they first put him on IR, they were expecting it to be about a 4-week absence. So maybe at least 2 more weeks that Logan Thomas is going to be
Fitz
out.
Can come back next week.
Yeah, there's another one. So maybe we get a little bit of a elevation of the Washington offense. No offense to the jersey hanging behind you there, Jake. 3 running backs I want to discuss really quickly. We don't even need to touch on all of them. Mark Ingram, there's been volume for him unquestionably in Houston's back. I mean, we had 6 teams on bye. We have to talk about it. 6 teams on bye, all these running back injuries. We got to talk about it. Mark Ingram's getting volume. Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt left that game with an injury. Nick Chubb, can he turn it around quick enough with the Browns playing on Thursday night against the Broncos? And then Rhamondre Stevenson working into the New England offense, even though Damian Harris did have himself a 100-yard game. Funston, any of these 3 guys beyond a min bid for you this week?
I'm telling you, I'm interested in Rhamondre Stevenson. I think that the New England set up to be a 2-back backfield, and it might just be Rhamondre Stevenson moving up into like a 35%, 40% role when it's all said and done, and potentially getting into that mix for goal line. And weirdly, he was, catching passes. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, this is going to be bad for Damian Harris. I just think that New England, because they play defense, because they have a young quarterback that they don't want to throw a ton, that they could just be one of these teams that is a conservative, run-heavy team, and there's room for Rhamondre Stevenson back there. So he's the guy that excites me the most of those 3.
Yeah, you could do in the Wheel of Fortune before and after. It could a 2-back field. Like you had it was right there for you. You didn't have to repeat the back. Wheel of Fortune before and after. Everybody knows the people that watch Wheel of Fortune. So, no, it's Dearness Johnson for me. Because even if it's a 1-week play, it's Thursday Night Football. It's Dearness Johnson had one opportunity to be the lead last year and looked pretty good doing so. And it's clear that Felton is that gadgety role type of play, mostly in the passing game. Don't know why they're doubling down with him and Schwartz, but truth is, if it's Dearness Johnson, I would rank Dearness Johnson in front. I would still put Harris in front of Johnson, but I put Johnson in front of Stevenson. I put Johnson in front of Mark Ingram, despite the fact that it was a blowout game where Ingram saw that use, and it should be another blowout this week. But I still don't want to touch that back, and I still don't want to touch Houston.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. And our buddy Nando is just so excited about Dearness Johnson. You guys, he was trying to make a case for Dearness Johnson alongside Nick Chubb last year, which I remember fondly. Not sure that's ever going to happen, but he's got to be pumped.
Why does Nando like starters that are good? Why does he always like the backup guys?
If you are a mediocre talent, 4th in the depth chart, Nando loves you.
Yes. Nando absolutely loves you in that scenario.